Hey guys, welcome to Stacks on Stacks on Stacks, where we share our mediocre opinions on an array of books. I'm Rachel.
I'm Lily.
And I'm Emily.
And today we're discussing The Handmaid's Tale by Margaret Atwood. The Handmaid's Tale, for those of you who do not know, is a dystopian novel that takes place in what once was the United States, where a monotheocratic, did I say that right?
Yeah, that's right.
That's how I read it.
Government takes over, and they revert back to extreme traditional Christian values.
Yes.
So what'd you guys think?
I liked it. I mean, it was really good. Lots of I liked it, and then I was like, "Whoa, this is like a lot. There's a lot happening."
It's a tough read. It's good, but it's a tough read for sure. But no, I enjoyed it a lot. I don't know. I kind of read it, half of it all at once, and then more digestible chunks after that. Just because it's very dense. It's a lot to take in as you're reading it.
I kind of flew through it.
Yeah.
Partly because I was the last to finish the book and I needed to get it done.
I don't know. I finished the book like 2 hours ago.
Oh, I will say I also technically finished it this morning because I didn't realize that the interview at the end was not an interview and was in fact part of the book. Did you miss it too? The historical notes?
Yeah, the historical notes.
This is part of the book.
Is part of the book. She hasn't finished it yet.
Okay, so technically I haven't finished the book.
I realized this morning. I didn't even have the book with me. I was just kind of doing some research to see common themes that other people had noticed, and then they started talking about this, and I was like, "What?" So then I panic borrowed it off of Libby.
So, see, I also thought this was not part of the book. The only reason I didn't miss it was because I was listening to the audiobook while I was reading. And so, it automatically started reading this part. And I was like, oh, whatever. But then I was like, oh, wait, these are not real people that it's talking about.
So please hold. Lily's going to go read it.
Lily's going to read it. It won't take her very long.
Oh, so this is interesting. So this is another society or this society?
No, it's the same...
same world.
Well, it's same world, but it's
it's
100 maybe. Or something years
post. It's 2150 or something.
Or it's 2195.
Yeah, 2195.
Yeah, and so it's at a college.
The names are crazy.
It's at a university, I think, in somewhere.
So essentially, this whole
in another country.
It's Alfred. She recorded it on something.
Yeah, on cassettes.
Tape. But in between,
and then it was found,
too, so people didn't catch on to it.
Yeah, but then it was found somewhere, and now it's this historical artifact, and they're kind of discussing whether or not it's real.
Yeah,
and
figuring out who's who. They get some context of who the commander is and stuff.
Mm-hmm. So it's like a Diary of Anne Frank situation.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I will read this later. That's really interesting.
But I totally missed that on my read because I was about to leave work when I finished it. Yeah. So I didn't even look. But yeah, what did you think? Speed reader?
Oh, I really liked it. I loved the very descriptive writing.
Yeah.
I'm a big fan of flashbacks. I know not everybody is, but I really enjoy a flashback. So I liked that the way the story was built was present, and then flashbacks, and then different timing of flashbacks. I thought that was a really interesting way to build a story.
Yeah, good blend. And it really benefited the world building.
Yeah,
it did.
It really helped because it's not just telling; it's showing it happened.
Yeah,
and it's Offred's experience of kind of trying to process things and keep them buried down and not wanting to acknowledge that certain things have happened or way things existed in the past. And I thought that was really intriguing and really interesting, and of course the parallels to our society is fascinating.
And she set herself up as an unreliable narrator too, so that also adds some,
which is nice. I like when obviously you root for her just because everything's bad, right? You're I want you to get out of this if you can, but also she's not a hero, where you're
she's not supposed
to be. Where you're she's you know, what'd you think?
Yeah,
really, really enjoyed this. I mean, it is so much of it is so real, and it makes it rough to read.
Yeah.
But no, I really enjoyed this.
Oh,
I keep saying I want to read smart people books, and now
we are.
gotten back to reading smart
we
people
talked about
books.
this the other day. I liked how modern the writing was. Because
we were just saying that earlier too.
Like I know it was written in the 80s and it's not that long ago, but still, like, it feels very modern.
Yeah.
Like the writing style feels very modern.
Some of the research I was doing today too was Margaret Atwood apparently at some point said, I think there's quite a bit on there, that she didn't want to put any like imaginary technology or anything fake in it, something that didn't exist yet, because she didn't want to like take people out of
my copy of the book has this whole like introduction section that I read that she wrote in 2017, and I think that's where that came from.
Yeah, that would make sense.
But she kind of goes into like the whole like of why she wrote it and how she wrote it.
Oh, do we have the same one? Like introduction?
Mine doesn't have an introduction.
Yeah, okay.
I have it
is the same
epigraph, and then I don't have an introduction.
Oh.
Mine
So
just goes straight into the first night section. It's not really a chapter, right?
Yeah, February 2017.
Yeah, I don't have that.
Yeah.
Oh, interesting.
Well, anyway. But
yeah,
she did mention in there that she didn't want to like make up anything.
And I think that really helps too, because like there's nothing crazy to really pull you out of the narrative and make you be like,
You
like it's
teleported where?
Exactly.
Wait, what?
We have to go back to the future. Like, it's all stuff that actually exists. And honestly, even though obviously like the technology that's in there is obviously outdated, I feel like it kind of adds to it, because if something like this really were going to happen, they're not going to be paying for crazy technology. I feel like just to
well, even some of the like flashbacks though of the technology that like is mentioned, which I'm not going to say this is a spoiler at all. I don't think it is.
Yeah.
Also, this is the non-spoiler section.
Oh
so
yeah.
Enjoy that.
If you haven't read,
we didn't lose you already.
But like there's things where it's like compute talk or like things like that where it's like almost like references are now technology that it didn't exist then.
Right.
Like computers existed and phones existed, but like cell phones.
I will say the names for them did feel very 80s.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like compute talk.
Yep.
Although iPhone,
I can't remember.
like if iPhone was in here and like that didn't exist now, like that's such a like I'd be like, yeah, okay.
But the names are made up. Pretty
yeah.
But like I said, I do feel like they sound pretty 80s.
Yeah.
But
all right.
no, there was no part of this that really felt like I had to slog through it or anything. Like it was just a ton of all of the world building was really interesting.
I also thought like it wasn't I guess I was because I've watched the show a little bit, like I've watched the first season, so I was expecting this, like not that there wasn't violence, but it was almost like more psychological violence than there was like physical like gory violence. Like I kind of was expecting like Hunger Games vibes a little bit,
right?
Like I was like, okay, when's somebody gonna jump out with a knife?
But honestly though, the fact that it's not like that is what makes it more real and more scary.
Exactly.
Because like this is exactly how I could see something like this playing out.
Oh, right. 1000%.
Yeah.
It's like all the violence happens behind closed doors.
Yeah.
And then you like see the end result.
Right.
Kind of.
Well, and all the violence is people selling out their own neighbors and like
that too.
Yeah.
You know, like it's all psychological.
I mean, just all of how it went down to, I mean, again, kind of spoiler. The line that stuck out to me the most in all of this was just they said they're temporarily suspending the Constitution, or they said that.
Yeah.
That's what stands out to me. Like that is something I could see happening
for sure.
1000%.
Yeah.
Oh, you mean with our current president who says things like, "Oh, well, that line in the Constitution doesn't mean that thing."
What is that? I read that and I was like, oh yeah.
Yeah. Well, we are going to begin spoiling the book and discussing further. So if you do not want spoilers and you want to go and read it, we would highly recommend that you read this book.
Pause the video. pause the podcast wherever you're watching it or listening and come back after you read the book.
Yeah. And if you don't care, you know, we're not going to fully discuss the plot like in tandem, so you may be confused, but you're still welcome. All right. On to the questions.
So, who do we think is responsible for maintaining Gilead society in this novel? The men or the women? Where's the pressure coming from?
Is it crazy if I say the women?
I mean, no, because that's what I'm thinking too.
I kind of think it's the women.
I think it's the women.
The aunts.
The aunts for one, but like
the wives.
Nobody's like really pushing back. Like there's people that don't really believe.
Yeah.
But they're kind of just like going along with it because they don't want to die, essentially.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean, they were, again, the historical notes were talking about the way that they kind of weaponized them against each other. That was the whole point, that it's easier to get them to maintain it themselves than it is to like come in with force.
Yeah.
Right.
Which makes sense. I mean, not to bring the Hunger Games into this, but like it's kind of like the same thing with like the districts where like the only reason that the government has control is because they pit the districts against each other.
Yeah. No, I feel like that is kind of the way to maintain control like that, is because they're stronger together.
Yeah.
So you have to make it so that they're not together.
And by
to become other.
And by causing separation, by causing hierarchy, by giving some, because the thing is power always corrupts.
Yes.
Right.
So if you give some people a semblance of power in a society where they are oppressed, then they're going to run with that shit.
Yeah.
Instead of being like, no, I'm going to hang with everyone else who's oppressed.
Yeah.
We even see that with Moira, like when we find out that she's like a sex worker and she's like,
that whole thing was really interesting.
I thought it was incredibly interesting.
Like just having the like curtain pulled back to see, oh shit, no, all the stuff that happened before is still happening. It's just also exploitative. It's not.
Yeah. And the comment the like commander makes about that was really interesting.
Oh, the thing about how men aren't predisposed to only be with one woman or something.
Oh, yeah.
Some bullshit like that.
And then Offred's like, oh, so now you just get it's the same as it was before. You just get multiple women.
He was such a big question mark for me, like this entire book, because he was kind of starting to seem a little chill and like he might be on her side there for a little bit when they're like playing Scrabble and stuff.
Yeah, but I was like, no,
not at all.
Yeah.
And then finding out that he did that with somebody else too, and it got her killed.
Right.
Yeah.
And he just no remorse for that.
No, because he's a man.
But I don't think it started with the women necessarily. I think it definitely came from men, but they
Yeah.
well, got the women to enforce it.
There was like an article out recently, and maybe I talked about this in another episode, that was like men are now like in our current society actively joining churches and becoming more conservative as women are leaving and becoming more progressive. But what's interesting is I guess historically it's always been the opposite, because women maintain religion as a cultural practice within communities.
I was kind of, because we had this conversation a few weeks ago, just randomly, not even in connection to this book, but I was kind of thinking about you talking about that.
So like you're seeing this example of like men creating a conservative society, but women now perpetuating the religious aspect of it yet again, and like the cultural practice.
Yeah.
Because like even just like the basic rules of having her break and come to his quarters in the house, and she's like, there's practice, like we can't, like I'm reading and like, you know, just like very simple things like that.
Right.
Where she is trying to maintain those own rules on herself.
Yeah.
That's true.
But also, like, she's in that weird position of,
if I break the rules,
she has to say no, but she can't say no.
Yeah.
Right.
Because he's also asking her to do it. Like, that's the other.
Which is interesting because there's that comment she makes about how it's not rape. Like the whole ceremony thing.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know if you guys noted that, but she like makes a comment where she's like, it's not rape because I consented to being a handmaid.
Right.
But
so like she like, I agreed to this.
But she also had no other choice, therefore the consent is not valid.
Right.
I mean, I guess technically would have another choice, but it's, I don't know, it's subjective to what
or
you
going
think
to
is
the
worst
colonies.
option.
Yeah.
So it's like, coerced consent.
Yeah.
Right. But maybe that's more like her trying to save herself mentally.
Yeah.
As if you're just feeling like you're getting raped all the time. Well,
yeah.
True.
That's not
true.
Yeah.
It's a kind of defense mechanism to not think about it that way.
Right.
Which is,
even if that's the reality.
Yeah, because it's really interesting because if they really did care about like religious aspects of it and they were really adamant about child rearing, like they could have easily just married off all of these women to men in power,
right,
to have children. Like they could have could have done all of these things, but instead they found a way to legalize rape, essentially.
Yeah.
They also could have done like artificial insemination and done like a surrogacy type thing.
Not only is it legalizing rape, it's legalizing rape with your wife in the room with you.
Yeah.
Like that was fucking crazy.
Yeah.
Finding out that Serena Joy was there, I was just like, well, initially I didn't even realize she was in the room. I was like, you're just doing this in the wife's bed? Like, that's crazy.
Yeah,
and then
right.
You find out,
and then
no, she's leaning against Serena Joy for this. Like, what?
Yeah.
Yeah. So that they're one.
Also, the giving the birth scene.
Oh,
that was
wild.
That made it. I was almost like, is this
that
science fiction?
Right. They all like go anytime one of them like gives birth.
Yeah. Well, and it was interesting because all I was thinking about is like kids who are adopted at birth or who like are born via surrogate. Like sometimes there's some weirdo adoptive parents, and before anyone comes for me, I'm adopted. I can't say this. There's some weirdo adoptive parents who like get in the hospital bed and put on the hospital gown and like pretend that they gave birth to the kid, like so that they can have that experience, or like things like that. Like they'll try and like do things like that to kind of feel like it's their biological child, which is also why there's weird
ass. I understand the desire, but I don't know that you should be doing that.
Yeah, and like some of them will force lactation so that they can breastfeed their own babies. And like again, there's adoption laws in the United States where when you're adopted, your birth certificate, like your original one, is sealed. So then it looks like your adoptive parents gave birth to you. So mine says that my parents gave birth to me, to white people. Which I think is kind of weird. Now, Oregon has laws that you can get your original birth certificate.
Yeah.
But like Washington doesn't, so I can't. So mine just says that my parents gave birth to me, but they did not actually give birth to me. But they like changed that information in the government to protect adoptive parents. Like, because I could get it if it's like some crazy case and like you're trying to protect the child's identity and it's like a whole thing.
Yeah.
Sure.
But like, I follow my birth mom on Instagram. Like, it's not that serious.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I mean, just from the standpoint of like health issues, I feel like you should be able to have access to that information just to not necessarily get in touch with them if they don't want to be in contact with you, but like, to have some sort of family history.
But like, it's all this stuff to kind of cater towards adoptive parents, not adoptees. And that's what I was like noticing in this book was like, they are catering to the wives and like protecting their feelings, like to try and make them feel a certain way about having,
because they can't have the
children.
Kids, so, but to make them feel like it is still their kid.
Yeah. So it like pulls a little bit from like adoption culture, which I thought was interesting.
Yeah, just the social hierarchy in general in this was really interesting. Like the hierarchy among women of like why are the Marthas and the aunts and stuff, like where did all of that come from?
And it was curious because like I can like we get and maybe it's explained in the part that I didn't read, but we get like the information about like how you get to be a handmaid,
right?
But like there's no explanation on how you become an aunt. Like how do you climb that ladder? How do you become a Martha versus going like you're like, I can cook.
I mean, the wives
really
make sense
like
too,
is that the only requirement?
Right? I can cook.
I can cook. I promise I could follow a recipe.
But you're not allowed to read.
Oh, that's
so
true.
You have to just know.
I can remember the recipe.
Hey, you measure with your heart, Lily. You got this. And, like the wives, going back to that, the wives make sense too, because like they're married to the higher up.
Yeah.
But
which is also interesting because a lot of these people were married before. Like we know why Offred is in this situation.
Yeah.
But no, they're higher.
They had to be like first marriages though.
Yeah.
First marriage, but this is what we find out in the historical notes is that like Fred, she's Offred, is like one of the initial creators of this society. Like he's high up in all of this, so like that's kind of the women married into that.
That makes sense.
Like those are the wives.
It's interesting.
But how many people were involved then? And like, I don't know. I have so many questions. Still.
Yeah, like the whole secret police situation and like kind of disappearing people just makes you think of all the ice raids happening right now. But of course, obviously that references like this is pre that.
Yeah.
Right.
So this clearly references like Nazi Germany.
Oh yeah. For sure.
But it's just interesting, you know.
I'm intrigued too. I'm sure it is, but is the eye imagery has got to be an homage to 1984.
I was thinking like, so.
It's got to be. Because it's more even than just the eye, like the sect of, would that be like a sect of government?
Because I was trying to
also
think,
like under his eye.
Yeah, I was trying to think like, because like growing up pretty heavily religious, I'm trying to think like, I can't think of anything like eyeball wise, like in Christianity, because I would assume she's mostly pulling from evangelical Christianity, because it even talks about how like at first anyone who called themselves was Christian was getting through, but then it was like certain sects of Christian weren't allowed, like Quakers or Baptists or things like that. So I assume Catholics were probably also on the chopping block.
They were. She mentioned it a couple times.
Yeah.
I'm intrigued to know too, like how extensive. I mean, obviously we know that this is the U.S., but like how much of it is, because this takes place pretty much just in New England, and then there was something too that was about them like warring with Detroit. There was a little
because they're like in this time they're still like having wars against. Like, but not where she lives.
Like, not the entire country is like this. Like, there's still dissent around.
But it never, like, explains where that kind of line is. I guess wherever the wall is of Gilead.
Yeah, and also, like, I don't know where because I don't think I ever noticed it in the book, but I remember someone was talking about it just like on social media because they were talking about ice raids and like how Chicago was like resisting them, just like how Portland is. But someone was like, yeah, well, it's just like in The Handmaid's Tale, Chicago like is a stronghold. And I was like, oh, that's interesting. So I was looking for it in the book while I was reading, and I didn't notice
it.
They
said in the historical notes thing, again, we're going to keep referencing this, that it was in Maine. That's where they were. And then I was reading something that was saying, so like the wall where they're seeing the dead bodies is apparently the wall outside of Harvard.
Oh. Right.
Yeah.
I think she said that in the book because she talks about how it was like a university.
Yeah.
I don't think they specifically said it was Harvard. It was like because she couldn't remember everything fully.
Yeah.
But she knew it was a university, and it was like the wall, and inside the wall is like the library and the other buildings. So yeah.
That makes sense. Well, it makes sense like how they were trying to run to Canada then because they're so close to the border.
Right.
Which also kind of begs the question of what's going on outside of the United States.
Right.
That's always my question.
There was that
comment about Jewish people going to Israel.
Well, yes. But there was like this one scene like earlier in the book where there was like some tourists from
that's right.
Asian country.
Yeah, that was crazy.
Which
means their borders are literally just to keep people in, right?
Yeah.
Which anybody can come.
Which made me think North Korea, when like North Koreans or like when North Korea lets people visit. Like
yeah.
Except they're like not really hiding anything though, are they? Well, except for the fact that most of this happens behind closed doors, I guess.
But they're like keeping it, like, I mean, externally, like if you just looked in, people are just quiet and following rules and minding their own business.
Right. Just no words anywhere.
Yeah. And I'm sure they just probably didn't hang bodies that day.
Maybe.
Or they didn't take them because they had a tour guide.
Yeah.
They just don't take them
to this wall.
Yeah, maybe they just don't have free reign. That scene, I was just like, hold the fuck up.
Yeah.
I totally forgot about that.
Yeah,
I did too.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm curious what like clearly the rest of the world thinks something.
Right. They have some kind of thoughts. And I remember like one of the tourists even asked a friend that like she's like, "Are you happy?" She translated it, but and she was like in her mind like no. But she's like, "Yes, of course," or something or whatever they're supposed to say.
There's kind of a script.
Yeah.
Because they're always under the watch of the eye.
Also, okay, again, maybe I missed it. Does it ever really delve deeper into the eye? It's just like a watching, like Big Brother situation.
I don't think they go into
Yeah, Big Brother, like secret.
That would require her to know what's.
Yeah.
Yeah, insiders. You don't know who's part of the eye and who's not.
But the thing from the historical notes that they kind of touched on was the fact that Nick was like a part of the eye, but he was still like.
But he was also part of the Mayday underground.
What do they call it?
The underground female road or something like that. Something weird. I was like,
it was a joke on Underground Railroad. If that wasn't clear.
But no, in the historical notes they called it the Underground Frail Road.
Yes, that's what I was looking for. Which is crazy.
Yeah.
Well, I guess that's nice to know it falls pretty quickly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I read the synopsis on the second book, and it said it's 15 years later, and it's dealing with like the fallout. Is what I read in the synopsis.
Okay, so it collapsed.
So it's pretty short. I mean, depending on how long.
It's unclear how long it's been going on in this book.
It is unclear.
Yeah.
But it still can't have been that long.
No, because she mentions she's 33.
Did she say she's 33?
She says she's 33, and when she gets that photo of her daughter, she says her daughter is like almost a teen or something. Like maybe 12.
It really hasn't been that long.
And then cause all her flashbacks of her daughter are like 5, 6, 7, and I think up to 8. Or maybe no, 5 is when they're running away because that's when the daughter gets taken away.
Yeah.
So it's got to have been about 6 to 7 years, which I assume is establishing hierarchy, brainwashing her, like to the point where she refuses to say her own name.
Right.
And that takes time.
Like how much time they spent in the center is not
clear.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, not at all.
And it seems
she says that it feels like it's been hundreds of years, but that was the only real.
But she can't. I think she just has lost track of time over the years. Because
there was something too where she was saying that she was like, I should be marking dates, but
she's not.
She's like on the wall.
Yeah.
Yeah, I imagine because all of this is fairly new and like the world falling apart was pretty quick. Because I think she said her daughter was at daycare when she couldn't work anymore, and her daughter was like 3.
Yes.
So when they decide to run
or school or
something, when they decide to run, her daughter's like 5. So that means like 2 years of like things kind of in conflict.
Yeah, and she was talking about like being at home and baking and
So
we really have never, any of us have had any unique experiences.
So that means it took them probably a while to like kind of set the system up of like coming up with these ceremonies and the sayings and the brainwashing and the propaganda. Like that takes time to you can't just do that. And even the outfits.
Really condition them too.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like what's the marketing team doing? Like
somebody who was one of the options for the commander was in marketing. Yeah. I'm not kidding.
Yeah.
Because they were talking, they're like, there's 2 people that we most likely think the commander in this book could have been. And one of them was in marketing.
Well, don't mind me. I'm just in marketing for an evil regime. But yeah, I think men clearly established the system, and I think women are maintaining it.
Yeah.
So
I think it was really interesting too to have like Serena Joy specifically being the wife of this household, because I mean that's something I feel like we're seeing a lot right now too, of these women who are like kind of high up in the Trump regime that are still like pushing for these policies that are going to set themselves back. It's like they're walking through the door and closing it behind them. Like I can just see so much
Well, and
this character.
and so much like Serena, they know that it's bad. They know that
this is what's gonna happen.
They know it's bad. They know it's wrong, and they don't even necessarily agree with it. Like when she like has her little moments of rebellion, even with just her staff. Like she clearly is like, I don't actually care, but I want power.
Right.
Yeah.
But like it made me think of like some the like conservative grifter women who are just like they spout stuff online because it gets them money and views and acknowledgement. And I'm sure behind closed doors they're probably like, I don't care.
No, I was just making so many ties to women that are in places of power right now too. It's
they just get a little apathetic and they just serve their own interests.
Serve your own interests, put all these policies in place that you know are also or would negatively affect you and probably eventually will.
Yeah.
And you do it anyway.
Well, I mean, just this past week, Megyn Kelly was on the news talking about like rape and age of consent. And she was talking about like Epstein's victims. And she's like, well, 15's like barely legal,
God,
but it's not like a 5-year-old.
Yeah, it's not like they're 8. But 15 is still legally a child.
Like if you are not 18, you are a child. That is how it works under the law.
Even at 18, you're still a child. Like,
of course. Morally, I agree with that. But legally, from a legal standpoint, 15, you are a child. And like her trying to downplay that, like I was like, girl, like what are you doing? Like this is what you're selling out for. You're gonna try and downplay the age of consent and justify rape happening. And she has a 14-year-old daughter. So like
yeah, that's the even crazier
the crazier part. Like, girl, but like that's what I mean. It's like these evil women who exist in our society.
Yeah.
Who are just
You're in a place of power to like use your platform to advocate for more women to be in positions of power like you, and you just slam that fucking door closed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which too, I was also reading apparently, I can't remember her name, but she was based off of someone real who was like literally anti-equal rights. Like I can't remember exactly what they called her, but it was like literally she labeled herself. Oh fuck, I can't. This is gonna.
It's gonna come to you. Like,
it will.
Tomorrow.
It was like seeing it on screen was fucking wild. But you guys keep talking.
Yeah, women blaming each other instead of men. We were just talking about that. But I also think that's really interesting about her being the other woman both times.
Right.
Was fascinating.
Yeah, no, that was really
like when her and Moira are talking and she drops like that she's like sleeping with Luke and then she's like, he's married. And I was like, what? Girl. But for whatever reason, like when it's with the commanders, it feels less like her being the other woman until she's like having conversations with him.
Yes. Right. Because the rest of the time she's just fulfilling her role as a handmaid.
And then when she starts building a connection with him and starts kind of establishing whatever's going on there, she's like,
then she's like encroaching on Serena's
man,
I guess.
Yeah. My man. I'm gonna stand beside him, girl. But yeah, did you find it?
Something about Stop Equal Rights Amendment. That was like she was like the spokeswoman for Stop the Equal Rights Amendment.
Girl, don't speak then.
Right? Literally. You're using your platform to advocate for you to not have a platform.
It's like the conservative women who are like, women should lose the right to vote. Okay, then just don't vote. Like, don't drag us all down with you because you are because like
why do you have to impose your beliefs on everybody else? Which is again, I guess, like crux of white Christian nationalists is
it's everyone else's fault.
They want freedom, but only freedom their way. Like,
and it's not even real freedom because just like the book, they're actually not going to follow any of their own rules. They just want to seem like they are.
Enforce it on other people.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I mean, it makes me think of just like that church thing that was happening. The girl who was like calling churches and asking for baby formula. Yeah. And then the ones who like didn't help her and then like we're bashing her. And there was like one pastor who had a sermon about it, and he called her a witch. I was like, oh, we're back to witches? All right.
But I mean, I do watching that. I do feel a little bad for the churches that said yes to like they're all ready to like grab their keys to help.
I know.
And then she's like, actually, you're part of a social experiment. Like it was the way she phrased it. I was like, girl.
No, I was like, we gotta work on our we gotta work on our wording.
I feel like you're going to make it so that a lot more people are going to say no. It's just the way she phrased it was so weird.
But it
was interesting.
It was very interesting.
Sure.
I mean, it wasn't surprising,
No,
but it was
not
very
even a little
interesting. But yeah, I don't know, it kind of made me think of this book too. Of like, we're going to do like the one who was like, our benevolence is for our members only. I was like,
that is a wild sentence.
That's a crazy line to say. Like, our benevolence is for our members only.
Empathy's a sin.
It's like, wait. Oh yeah, I'm sure Jesus also said that.
Right.
I'm sure his, feeding the poor and hanging out with prostitutes, he also was like, benevolence is for members only.
Yeah. Sorry, can't help you.
You drop off 10% of your income next week. We'll see what we can do.
We'll see. We'll revisit this.
But yeah. Anyways.
But yeah, the way they pit all the women against each other. I mean, like we had already talked about, it's like in the Hunger Games, they're stronger together, so you have to make sure that they're never an organized unit.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay, so yeah, do we want to talk about significance of reading in this novel, like the way it's censored and the way the commander like gives her magazines and stuff at the end or towards the end?
I will say, like, it's interesting how quickly the brainwashing works with the not reading situation.
Right.
Because when it's that one scene where they're watching movies and she's talking about all the movies that they have to watch with the ants. And there's one where there's actual words on the screen and all of the girls are like
what?
Yeah, are we allowed to read this?
Right.
Like,
or even like her little pillow on her window that says faith on it.
Yeah.
She's like, do they know? Like,
do they know that I know what that says?
Yeah. Or that I can read that, or that it has a word on it even.
Yeah. Because they're like so careful on everything else. Like no stores have any words on them on their signs. They don't have any names that are
their tokens
printed.
or their money is the pictures of what things are.
Yeah.
Controlling.
And which is the no reading thing is really fascinating. Like as a society, like completely changing that all just because one subsect of your society is not allowed to read is fascinating.
Yeah.
Right.
Like completely doing away with words. Because there was a time when like the Catholic Church was in charge, like in Europe, like in the 1400s, where like people weren't allowed to read. And the only people who could read were like the priests because they would read the Bible. But like nobody else was reading.
I mean, it raises questions too, because like I was saying, stores don't even have words in them. So it's got to be oppressing everybody from reading, right?
Exactly.
Not even just like it's like the commanders that can read.
And like,
and it makes sense too. Like that would be a way to brainwash people because it discourages any free thinking.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
I guess if I were to do that,
right, if I were to try and take over a society
and I didn't want women reading, I would just like taking away everyone's ability to like read signs and stuff is kind of crazy.
Yeah.
I feel like, I don't know, like I wouldn't.
But I mean, wanting to take away your like entire country's free will is also kind of crazy.
But I feel like but like learning to unread is like you just like your brain just naturally like grasps onto words. I guess what I would do was come up with a new language.
Yeah. Especially coming from this point of view of they remember life before. Like it's not like in the Hunger Games where it's Katniss and that's the setup of
she's born into this.
Yeah, it's always been like that. Yeah.
Like genuinely, I think that's what makes this so real and so scary is because we see these the life before and how quickly this happened. And
Yeah.
the honestly, like, plausible way that it went down.
Yeah.
And the way everyone's just like, okay, I guess we're doing this now.
Yeah.
I don't agree with it, but I guess this is what we're doing.
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
But yeah, like the reading aspect, just overall, like trying to get people not to read. And they explore this in the show more. Because there's like a scene where Serena Joy, like, kind of comes in front of the commanders or the eye or something. Like, I think it's a couple seasons in. I've just happened to have seen clips of it where she's like talking to them about something and they kind of remind her that she's a woman. And she's apparently she's like super educated, like previously.
Yeah.
And she's like, well, I study blah blah, and they're like, well, you're still a woman, and she's kind of like, wait,
yeah, which circles back to that conversation we were having earlier about walking through these doors and then slamming it behind you because, like,
yeah, and well, and then
literally ruining your own future.
Yeah, well, and then she makes a comment about like how the children don't know how to read.
Yeah, see, makes more sense with them, like taking away words because then that's all you've ever known. But yeah, no, it's genuinely, I think it's just a way to discourage any thinking. There's some quote in the beginning where she talks about how thoughts are. How does she say that?
There was some. I wrote something down that
like
had to
thoughts
do
are
with like
valuable and you have to like ration them or something.
Yeah, I know she also said that about like emotion.
Yeah,
and then like also
I took note of that.
being bored.
I try not to think too much. Like other things now, thought must be rationed. So I feel like maybe it kind of goes hand in hand with that. They're trying to make it so that they're not thinking about things.
Which makes sense. Like I feel like traditional female or like traditional values when it comes to women is that women shouldn't think. And like they didn't want women to read too much because they would give them thoughts.
What's that quote?
Exactly. And then if they were too educated, then they were going to fight back.
Yeah. Because how does that quote go? Of like, there's nothing more dangerous than a well-read woman. Well-read woman. I can speak.
Yes.
I can't find what I was thinking of, but
yeah, plus
something along those lines.
Yeah. But yeah, no, that scene of having like literally having the Bible under lock and key that they can't read it, like their interpretation is the only one, or the commander's interpretation is the only one that can exist. Like they don't get to see it, they don't get to think about it.
That's really crazy to me because like as someone who grew up religious, like there's a lot of like not in my family, but just like the culture of the religion, like going to church and stuff, there's a lot of push of traditional values, but overall there's still like everyone needs to read the Bible kind of thing.
I mean, to be fair, they're reading it to them,
but they're not reading themselves.
Right.
Yeah, exactly.
Right. That scene stood out to me, where it's literally under lock and key.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
But what do you guys think of like the motives behind the magazines at the end, giving her the magazines from Fred, like giving her access
I
to
think
that?
it's a kink.
Yeah.
Yeah, really, like having control over her in like a weird way.
Yeah.
It's like I can provide you joy.
Yeah.
Right.
Glimpses of the past.
Because like then he takes her to Jezebel's and she's like, why did you bring me here? He's like, well, I thought you would enjoy it. Or he keeps saying things like, I want you, I would prefer if you were happy or something.
Yeah.
So he's like thinking it's going to be more desirable if like she's happy about her situation. In reality, she's never really truly going to be happy.
Right. But like, again, if he's one of the people that is responsible for the way the society is set up, why is he trying to like, I kind of think maybe it's him enjoying watching her struggle, like playing God almost.
I think it's a masculine thing. There was like a quote, he was like, better means better for everyone. It
doesn't mean
it always means worse for
some.
It always means worse for some.
Yeah.
And I think it's like such a like male POV. Like I think, this is just an opinion, I think naturally women are leaders and think of community, like think of with like if given the opportunity to set up like a society, they're like, how do we take care of people? How do we do things? And I think men naturally think like, what can I do for myself?
Yeah.
And so I think he's like, well, I'm giving her something. I'm being a good person.
Right.
That quote, though, the way when you just brought it up made me think of when people freak out about, like, Black Lives Matter, and they're like, well, no, all lives matter. And it's like, well, just because somebody's trying to say that, like, it's Black Lives Matter, too. Not that yours matter less.
Yeah.
Right? Like,
yeah, it's just like,
makes me think of that.
It also, like, and it's even before, like, we get to the commander, because the commander is kind of an extreme version of that. But when she's married to Luke, and it's right when she doesn't have access to her bank account anymore.
Right.
And he's like,
kind of blasé about
he's
it.
super blasé about it. And he's kind of like, and then she has this line about how, like, I don't remember where it was, but he was basically like, he wanted to make love that night.
Right.
That was crazy.
That I was like, excuse me, she just like lost her job and can't buy anything.
Yeah, she lost access to all of the money she's worked hard for and can no longer has the option to make more. And you're like, well, let's fuck.
Which I think speaks to like, I think it speaks to like men overall in this book and in society where they're kind of like, well, it doesn't affect me. And like, well, we're fine.
Yeah. I'm fine, so you're fine.
And it's like, bitch, no. Like,
well, there was something too of him being like, well, they said all of your money is going to me, so like you'll be fine.
Yeah.
Right.
Exactly.
Right. He's like, well, I'll give
so
you
he doesn't see the problem,
or I'll buy stuff for you or something.
Yeah.
If we're being devil's advocate, maybe he's just like, well, obviously I'm going to make sure you're okay. So like,
but like, yeah,
it's
like
fine.
I think that was his mindset, but that's not the way it came across.
No, I know. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Devil's advocate.
Oh, for sure. But like, he's like so like downplaying it, and like I'm just trying to picture, because like none of us are married,
right?
So if we all lost access to our money and our jobs,
then it would go to our parents,
would go to our
dads.
And like we all have good dads who would be like no, this is your money, like
right,
you know.
But not everybody does.
Everybody does.
And I mean, that's the thing with like domestic abuse and stuff, is men controlling all the money so that women can't leave.
Yeah.
I feel like they can't leave.
And
so controlling the money and source of income first.
And also when this book was written in American society, women would have just been allowed to get credit cards.
Right.
And would have just been allowed to buy houses. I think.
Crazy.
So like, you know, it's like not too far off from like the original you know, lifestyle people were currently living.
Well, see, that's the craziest thing to me about this reversion to traditional values and seeing women in America losing rights. It's like, it's been a generation, guys.
Yeah.
Like, my
our
grandmother was barely born with the right to vote, or, you know.
Yeah. Like our moms were alive before they were allowed to have credit cards.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, it's and all the girls who get online, they're like, I don't want to work. Like, girl, none of us dream of labor. Okay. Yeah. But like,
that joke. When you're job hunting and it's like, God damn it.
I love money and banks and capitalism. No, but like, you know, like, why are you like, go find someone who's going to fund your lifestyle then. Like, don't like try and take it away from everybody else because you don't enjoy something.
Fine if you don't want it.
Yeah.
But you do you and I'm going to do me. That's why
you can opt out. Don't take it away.
Yeah.
Like, women shouldn't vote. You can just not vote.
Yeah,
you don't have to take that from us.
Good for you. I'm going to continue exercising this, right?
Well, and did you guys see there was like a poll out recently that young women are voting like extremely leftist, like not just like a small percentage of any other like group, but like 80% of young women.
It's like the whole joke about gotta contribute to the declining birth rate. Like, you take away our right to choose, you don't get to have sex anymore. You asked for this.
But like conservative news sites and even like moderate news sites are kind of like, what are we doing about young women? And they're all like, we've got to get them married. Like, they're not getting married. And it's like, why would we? They're all the boys are going to the church.
Away my rights. I mean, there's also, what is that bill or Save Act? The thing about how your name has to match what's on your birth certificate so that you can vote. So women who get married and change to their last name potentially will be blocked from voting because it doesn't match their birth certificate.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
And so like then you get the commander who's kind of like the extreme of that and like version further down the line. And you can see like I'm not agreeing with it, but I can get why his mindset is kind of like, well, everything's kind of worked out for me. You know, like,
right.
I have power. I've got a wife. I'm at the top. And I get to go to all these secret clubs. And he's just having fun. Like, he's basically like, I have all these secrets and like letting people in on them. And like him like not caring about like the other handmaid and like just like.
Honestly, he is a very interesting character. And I kind of wish we could have delved into some of his POV.
Yeah. It's fascinating because it's just like, it speaks to like men just like not caring about women's issues and women's suffering.
I mean, it's just something that is really interesting because this, like, what is the desire for a world order like this? Clearly people have it because shit like this happens around the world all the time. But like, what's the desire to just have everybody under your thumb?
I'll never.
Like, it's interesting.
I'll never understand the desire for power.
Yeah.
But again, I think it's like, I don't know, it's just an opinion, but I think women are just natural born leaders who have a community mindset. And I think men are very single-minded. So in any society that they set up, I think they're always going to think about ways to benefit themselves. Yeah. Which thus in turn benefits other men, maybe, but does not benefit women. Because even in this society, like other men aren't getting wives, like Nick.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like they're not being
he was
allowed.
like low level.
Well, they
for
said
whatever
that
reason.
Some of them are, because there was that one ceremony where they were like, "This is where soldiers get assigned wives."
Right. Yeah.
Which I'm interested to know more about that.
But maybe Nick wasn't in. He didn't sign up to be in the army or whatever. So
they said she said something about he hasn't been assigned a wife yet.
I think you have to earn it.
It's a possibility.
Yeah, I think you have to earn it.
He has to work his way up
to earn it.
Exactly. But like that's what I mean. Like I think it's like they're setting up these like things that benefit them as men, but there's even other men that are below them, and then the women are beneath all of them. Which again is just kind of like our society.
Speaking of ceremonies though, that other one at the end where they had the women like beating.
Oh, the salvaging, but then after that,
the rapist.
That was crazy too.
Yeah.
That made me think of, did you guys ever have to read The Lottery?
No.
In school? Where it's like the short story of everybody in the little village has to go to the town square and put their name in this ballot box. And it's the lottery. They keep talking about how it's the lottery, making you think they're going to win something. But it ends up, if your name gets pulled, the whole village stones you to death. You're like,
oh, I feel like I did read that actually. That sounds very familiar.
It kind of made me think of that.
Well, that's fascinating.
I don't know. I mean, it's not really
similar,
but
I mean, just the 25th Hunger Games.
Literally.
Turn everybody against each other.
Yeah. Voting one person in.
Just a way to create even more division amongst people.
The hangings is really interesting that they went back, because clearly they have modern technology. They could have done firing squad. They could have done but public hangings is always a very interesting move to me. Just publicly displaying the people. That are your enemies,
are they
quote unquote.
Publicly hanging them? I mean, I know literally they are.
Yeah.
But are they dead before they string them up? I was kind of thinking maybe they were
not at the salvagings. No.
Not the
salvagings. No. So they only really do the.
So they do the salvaging, but only men or women go to. If it's a women salvaging, all the women go. If it's a men salvaging, all the men go.
Segregated.
Are those the ones that end up on the wall?
Yeah.
That can't be though.
But I think
because they were saying in the historical notes that they did the salvaging quarterly on an equinox or something like that. So if every week when Offred is walking around town, there's different people on the wall, they can't all be from the salvaging.
No, I think they are not all from the salvaging. But I think the people who do get salvaged do get displayed up there.
Oh yeah, it's probably other reasons to have.
Like, I know she says something
them.
about like the Quakers broke in somewhere, and so some of the rebels were hung,
Yeah.
or like things like that. So
and
I
the-
Or they are like
the doctors that perform
doctors,
abortions.
and scientists or whatever.
so I'm sure it's like a mix of
So like whatever
traitors.
reason, they have
Like, I get displaying the bodies as a warning, but public hangings, public executions like that.
Yeah, like public death is really interesting to me, as a form of control, and I it's interesting also as like a form of desensitization.
Yeah,
Where you're like, these people are beneath us, they're below us, kind of like trying to build that sort of indoctrination, and where it's like, this isn't sad, like this is an okay thing that's happening and everyone should watch, and we'll just make it a little party. Because
I feel like you can tie that back to like the rape thing. This is your fault, like making them in that mindset. So I guess maybe it's another way to reinforce that of they didn't follow the rules.
Yeah, right.
So
this is what happens if you don't follow the rules.
Yeah. And it's also just interesting because, of course, public hanging has been used, and public execution and public deaths have been used forever. I mean, the Bible, Jesus is hung on the cross. Enslaved people.
I mean, I always had assumed fear was the biggest factor there.
Oh, for sure. The fear of death, but the public humiliation aspect of it and the community bonding aspect of it. And then, I think it's, I mean, we've got so many kings and queens who have been beheaded.
Yeah.
It's fascinating. It's a fascinating move, and it's not just, obviously it's not unique to this book, but just public,
something that made you think.
Public death as a because especially now it's not that we're not desensitized, but if someone was like, oh, everybody gather at the town square, we'd all be like, what the fuck? Like, none of us would be like,
this is like so off topic, but a few months ago, the like main supervisor at my work, we're like walking in, and she's like, okay guys, and stopping us all as we come and be like, okay, and right before we start, we're gonna go down there, we're all gonna have a hub meeting. And like literally all of us were like, what the fuck happened? Because the one before that, somebody had died like outside of work. But so we all came, and she said this, and we're all like it was a different management the time before. But that freaked us out. We're like, girl, is everybody okay? 1, 2, 3, 4.
I'm here, you're here.
Who is not here?
Who didn't show up for shift today?
So like if something like that happened where they're like, we're not gonna tell you why, but everybody needs to be in the town square, I'd be like,
and I just like picturing them trying to schedule this now, like a public execution. People will be like, I don't have anywhere to park my car. Like,
dude, can you imagine?
Like the shit that would get posted on like a Facebook neighborhood group.
Right.
To be fair, though, I guess in this society, there's such a declining birth rate. How many of them are there?
Well, that's fair.
That's true.
Speaking of declining birth rate,
I thought it was really interesting that they completely did away with all modern medicine and like doctors. Especially if their like goal is to like not repopulate, but like have as many children as they can to like reinforce this regime that they've put together.
I guess maybe
and then they're just like, but doctors are terrible people and we don't trust them.
I guess maybe it just reinforces the notion though that this isn't about anything other than control.
It's fascinating because the Republicans are really just running with that playbook.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, what was JD Vance's? Oh, we should give tax credits to people who have more kids or whatever. And it's like,
well, other countries,
you don't see that as a way that people are going to start trafficking their own fucking children.
Well, other countries do like pay people to have children. Like a lot of countries,
crazy.
But it's
why
not.
Would you just turn children into pawns like that?
Well, and it's not like it's almost like I almost said like a baby daddy paying you, but like that's what it is. Like it's like a monthly payment and versus like like
That's still crazy.
a lump sum, but like a lot of countries do
so
it.
Kind of more like a foster care payment, maybe.
Yeah, but a lot of countries do it. Like Ireland does it, and they send like baby boxes. Like, but like they think that it's going to encourage people to have children because the United States is not the only country dealing with the declining birth rate.
I'm blanking on what it was, but in the articles I was reading about the real world events that kind of inspired this was something about Ireland and like stealing people's babies and giving them away. I think that was
Yeah, the Catholic Church was doing that.
No, there was something else. I don't recall.
Well, the Catholic Church was.
I don't doubt that.
Yeah,
happened, but there was something else.
No, the Catholic Church was like people who were getting pregnant outside of wedlock. They were like encouraging mothers to like come for help at the Catholic Church, and then they would take the babies and tell the mothers that the babies died.
Yeah. See, I feel like that's happening in this book.
Oh, I 1000%.
Because like the fact that they're talking about how only one out of so many kids or babies is viable or whatever when they're born. And then there's the whole thing with Janine that she had the baby and they said it was fine. And then we find out a few chapters later that apparently it wasn't. Like, what are they doing with these babies? Like, they're taking them somewhere.
I think I mean, my guess would be is that they're like trying to raise them somewhere else away from the people who have memory of the original world.
Oh, that could be.
So that they're raising them fully
But it
immersed.
doesn't happen to all the kids.
No, I mean,
I guess some to make it believable.
To make it believable.
Yeah.
But I think they're trying to take as many kids as they can and raise them in a way that like they only know this society.
Yeah.
And they don't have, because like these women are brainwashed, but you could easily be like, okay, well, I'm going to teach you how to read, but you can't tell anybody. Like, you know, like there are like, I'm sure there are families who are like breaking rules.
But do they even, I mean, I get the feeling because they kept talking about how like the Marthas want a baby around and stuff, but like the fact that her daughter is somewhere far off that nobody really knows where except she had that one picture.
Yeah.
Like I feel like
I wasn't convinced that was actually her daughter. But.
Yeah. But it feels like they are taking all of the kids because we never see a kid in anywhere in this book.
Except the white veiled tweens during the preacher's ceremony.
Which are the daughters. Yeah.
Okay.
Prayer Ganza.
So do they only leave
but they are veiled.
Commander's children?
It could be. And they're veiled.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I don't know if you actually, and the wives who could have children have their children.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But otherwise I have no idea.
Or do they actually all die? Is it, I mean, taking place in the 80s, is it an Agent Orange thing? Is it supposed to be kind of like that?
Well, and I know they say it like it's a chemical, like everything that's like affecting people's ability.
All the toxic spills.
Like,
and like
So maybe they really are.
Yeah.
I can't remember the word they use.
But it also could be like maybe the babies are like maybe they test them and they have like some sort of, you know, like intellectual disability or something that they can somehow test. Because also a big thing is like purity. And like a lot of Christians, well, not a lot of Christians, but a lot of like crazy Republican people are really into like eugenics.
Right.
And like not being pure.
Right.
Like physically. Right. Or mentally, like being, what is it? Neurotypical.
Right. I just had the moment on how do they are definitely taking them away for that. Janine had a girl. They keep the boys. The girls have to go somewhere else.
Oh yeah.
But they have daughters. Or are those just the ones that were already?
I think those are the ones that were
taken from other.
I think they were previously from the other world.
Got it.
So the ones they keep are probably all boys, and then the girls are sent somewhere else to be like, molded into
centers,
handmaids, or I mean, how did they choose them outside of?
Well, it depends
on. They can bear children.
I'm sure there's some race shit.
Oh, absolutely.
Too.
I mean, I made note of that because the thing with Detroit, that they're at war with Detroit, because Detroit is a mostly
pretty black
city, isn't it? And they're talking about
versus how, like Maine, white as fuck.
I picked up on that. I was like, New England, white.
there'd be white people there. Hella white people. But no, like, yeah, Detroit, Chicago, like, and I'm curious, I feel like it's interesting that Maine fell. Like, first of all, Maine's super rural. There's not a lot of people there. I think it's one of the most underpopulated states in the US.
Interesting.
Also very white. But like pretty
Maybe
liberal.
that would be kind of an idea of where, if it's already sparsely populated,
It's easy to set
easier
up
to take over.
like a cult. You need
Yeah.
some space. Yeah, but
no, I just mean that there's a whole bunch of people there that, like, there's already a small amount of people, and now that small amount of people can't have kids.
Oh, yeah. Well, and also, like, I guess I don't know what Maine's political affiliations were in the 70s and 80s. Because currently,
West Coast girlies.
they're a very liberal state. So I don't know what they were like back then.
Yeah.
But
I mean, in the 80s, I'm just thinking about how much of a landslide Ronald Reagan won his elections by.
didn't he run as he ran as Republican?
He's a Republican.
Yeah.
Like, I did not realize until recently how much he won by in, like, every state. Like,
You know, he was very popular.
election. That was fucking
He was very
insane.
popular.
It's like 80%.
The only reason that I know that is because when we were in that history class, it's in the pathways with what's his face? I don't remember his name.
Oh, Jarvie.
Yeah, with Jarvie. We did a whole section on the 80s instead, and on like OSHA and shit, which no other class had to do.
I was gonna say, I don't remember doing
Because
I was the cohort behind you.
because for whatever reason, some videos wouldn't play or like certain things wouldn't work. So he's like, no, I'm just gonna skip ahead. So then we just learned a whole section that nobody else did. Like we watched like that one documentary about the whales in SeaWorld. And we learned about OSHA in like the 80s.
I feel like I did something about OSHA with him.
Yeah, I know he does like a brief thing with everyone, but we did like an in-depth thing.
Interesting.
Because we like skipped a whole section.
This is so unrelated, but you said a video about whales. Have you seen that like newscast from, I think it's probably from the 80s, where some whale washed up in Newport? Yeah, they fucking blew it up. Dude, the way
That's
the
some 80s
newscaster
shit.
commentates on it is so fucking funny. I will show you after this, Rachel.
Okay. Well, there was this one part of the book that I kind of like flagged that I thought was interesting. It was one of Fred's flashbacks to the center, and they were watching like old pornography movies. And Aunt Lydia was like, well, this is what it used to be like. This is how they thought of women. Like implying that it was a lot worse than what it is now. And I read that, and obviously it's very different. Like they're not being sexualized in that way, but they're like being objectified. Like they're not human.
I would argue that objectification is worse.
Yeah. They were like, you can be whores. The women were whores and they were angry and they hated it. Well, and it's like there was like the comment about like how like women's like sexual pleasure isn't like important anymore, where they're like, yeah, orgasm, you don't need that. There was like a comment about it like early in the book, and I was like, oh.
Got it.
We're like, scratch that.
Yeah.
But yeah, like their description of like, and using pornography is crazy.
Yeah.
Right. To be like, this is what everyday life was like.
Yeah.
And it was like, girl,
This is
we
what you
remember.
could be subjected. Yeah. This was like 3 years ago.
I was like, no, actually, I worked a corporate job. And had a college degree.
Was educated, yeah.
Not that you can't be educated and do all of those things either.
Right.
Sure.
No kink shaming here. But it was like, yeah, her like using that, and like also I thought what was interesting is they used that video footage of like protests.
Oh yeah, the
And
thing with
her
her
mom
mom.
is in it.
Mm-hmm.
I want to know if that was intentional.
It's possible. But it's also
But I
possible
don't
that
know.
I don't know how much they know about their before lives.
Right.
Yeah.
know who
Yeah, I
they
mean, it
are.
could have just been a coincidence.
Yeah, like they could
But
have
yeah.
a packet on them that they're like, but I feel like there's so many women there that like
Right.
it's hard for the ants to maybe like purposely target.
Yeah, I don't know though, because I mean, they're there for a long time.
That's true.
And I mean, there's a lot, but there's not that many
Many.
women there. Because
Yeah.
I mean, as we keep talking about, the population is declining.
Yeah,
So, like, how many people are in this?
that's a great question.
Yeah.
I also like her mom, like the snippets of her mom being like a
So
raging
interesting.
feminist
Yeah.
is really
I love that.
interesting because reading Offred's like POV where she's kind of like, she's not like rah like women's rights, like
Right.
like she wasn't like that before. She was kind of
Yeah.
annoyed with her mom for like fighting with, and it kind of makes me think of like women now, where a lot of girls who are like, we shouldn't vote. And it's like, girl, your grandma was fighting for you to have the right to vote.
Yeah.
But like, there's like, this is their normal. And they're like, this is just how life is. Like, women can vote and they can read and they can do all these things. So, like, not a big deal.
Yeah.
Right.
No,
And they get complacent and they don't like, it's just kind of like how people are like, politics isn't that important to me. And it's like, and it's like, politics is like everything. Like politics is the reason you have clean air. Politics is the reason that there's public schools and that there's libraries and there's public transportation. But like people don't think about it in that way because they're like, if something's not actively hindering me and I can just continue living my life the way that it is, I don't have to think about other things.
No, that was definitely the feeling I got from her too, was that she was not so much annoyed with her mom, but it was like, you're overthinking this.
Yeah.
Like that's
You're
never
too
gonna
woke.
happen. Yeah.
You're trying
You're
too
too
hard.
woke, mom.
But yeah, this whole thing, and I know I keep saying this, I feel like that is how it would happen if this were actually going to happen. Is it so many people being like, oh, it's not that bad, and just like making excuses for it.
Right.
I mean, again, they temporarily suspended the Constitution, and then you just like slippery slope.
Yeah. Oh, women don't have their bank accounts anymore. Well, it's fine because like your money comes to me. Like it's just like a downplaying of these very serious things because people are like, it's not a big deal. Like it's fine. Like you don't need to go. And like the protests too, where she's like, I didn't go out and protest because Luke told me not to.
Right.
Because he's like, well, you have us.
What?
Or even like, sorry.
No, you're good.
But like when I think it was soon after she lost her job, and then she was like calling her mom and her mom wouldn't answer. Like her mom disappeared and they went to her apartment and like her whole apartment's trashed and like somebody broke in or something. And she's like, I'm going to call the police. And Luke was just like, no, don't.
Yeah.
Like, to be fair though, I think Luke was saying that because like
she was probably disappeared for all her activism.
Yeah,
I
probably,
think
but like
shit had already happened that it was like obviously
but just
it
like
was
the
government.
kind of like not validating her feelings.
Yeah, and it's just like people like being complacent of like, it's not happening to me, so it's not a big deal. I don't have to think about it. Like when people get really upset about like Black Lives Matter or people advocating for like the LGBTQ plus community because they're like you can get married, it's not a big deal, as if gay marriage wasn't just handed to the Supreme Court like 2 weeks ago to decide if they were going to rule on reversing the 2015 decision. Like, sorry, you got to be a little woke.
Overturned Roe v. Wade after how many decades?
Right?
Like,
yeah. It's just like people who are like, well, we've had it and it's fine. You're fine.
Yeah.
And it's like, no. Like, you got to pay attention, babe.
Yeah. Well, yeah. And again, like the temporary thing, one of the biggest things I heard after Trump got elected the second time was people being like, oh, like it'll be okay because pretty much everything he can do is through executive orders, which means the next president can just undo it, blah blah blah. And it's like, but it does have like real effects that are outside of executive orders that are not going to be easily reversed.
No.
Yeah.
And like it's just I know it's just like you're trying to make people feel better to like not panic, but also
I mean, I don't think people should make people feel better. Like, this is the reality of our situation. I don't know. Maybe I'm a little bit of a pessimist, but it's like, listen, if this is what's going to make you, like, go outside and, like, do some shit, like, vote.
Yeah.
Like, the least you could do is vote, you know, or, like.
I mean, I don't know. I get it for just, as, like, someone that voted, I did my part.
Yeah.
Like, I did not vote for this. And I do tend to feel a little bit powerless about some of the stuff. I get it of trying to make people feel better, but also like I don't know.
I
don't want to lull anybody into complacency.
Yeah, no, I am a let's be realistic about the situation that we're in.
Yeah.
Kind of person. So sometimes
definitely
that doesn't necessarily fall into.
There's a time and a place.
Yeah. And I think too many people were complacent, and that's why we had issues. So I think now is your time to be the too woke friend, unfortunately. But yeah, like in this book, like her mom is the epitome of that. Yeah. And she is like the epitome of somebody who's just like, it's fine, like super nonchalant. You know, everyone around her is, I mean, pretty nonchalant. And you even see like Mora like get like nonchalant later in the book, where she kind of is like, we got to get out. I got to get out of here. Right, and then she kind of just becomes like, she just kind of accepts her reality. Meanwhile, Fred's like, wait,
like what happened to you? Like, like you're not the same person.
Yeah.
Right.
So it's fascinating, this shift in the commentary. Also, quick note, the male loneliness epidemic is like quickly mentioned in there.
I know.
And I was like, I think I wrote it in the notes on my phone, but I was like, male loneliness epidemic.
Yeah, I can't remember where it was either, but I also picked up on that, and I was like, oh.
Where it was like, men.
See, we're just coming full fucking circle.
But it's like, this is the issue we're having currently. And so.
Well, you know what? If you don't want to be lonely, stop being a shit human being.
Stop being a incel.
Literally.
It's not that hard to be nice to women.
Take accountability. Like,
yeah.
The reason you are alone is because of you, not because of
And also,
women.
Again, and I will say it again, women, I think, naturally crave community, and men are really bad at generating community. Like, women may be single, but they have friends, and they have, like, things that they're doing. But, like, when you hear about like men being like, oh, like I don't like know like about my emotions, or I can't go talk to my friends about it, it's like, that's a problem. And we can't, like, you can't blame women for that. Like, you have to go fix that issue. And there's so many men where like their only friend is their wife.
Yeah.
You know, like their whole, like, that's their friend. And like, you know, they get married, they're like, you're my best friend, and the girl's actually got best friend. She's like,
my thought process on this may speak to how tired I am, was like, well, hang on, all the guys I'm friends with aren't like that, but the key there is that I'm friends with them.
Yeah.
They have friends.
But like with their guy friends, like, are they acting like, you know, the way that, you know what I mean, like building, and like, I don't know, sometimes I get on my dad, I'm like, you gotta go like hang out with your buds, like, what are you gonna do when you're retired? Like, because like you know, their whole worlds were wrapped up in us kids, or like my mom, and I'm like, what do you like?
I understand it more, especially with kids, of like being wrapped up in being a parent.
For
but, like,
sure.
His kids are all grown now.
Except that my mom is not like that.
Yeah.
She was a stay-at-home mom. That woman was not home. She was always doing something.
I don't know. Actually, no, my dad talks to a lot of people. Say my mom has friends. She's going out and doing stuff a lot more lately now that she's retired. But my dad is very antisocial. But sometimes, I don't know, that man will just like start talking to someone on the phone for an hour, and I'm like, who are you?
But see, that's what I mean. Like, I feel like they crave community. They don't know how to build it. And I feel like women are really good at like just going out and finding community. Like my dad like hangs out with people. I'm not saying he's like the guy's going out, but
it
like
depends on the person too.
Totally, but like I think as a whole, like there's clearly an issue with men and as a whole, you know.
Yeah.
So
especially the ones that are crying about the male loneliness epidemic,
and then they blame women for being lonely instead of being like, hey,
taking any form of accountability.
Like, go play basketball with the boys at the gym. Like there are things you can do.
But also just like that, I feel like that contributes to making you a more well-rounded human being. Of just like having a life. Outside of like just working.
Go volunteer. Like if you want community, go seek it out. You don't have to build it.
Community is more than just your family.
Go take a class on pottery. Like go build a hot rock climbing. I don't know.
whatever boys like to do.
Go play pool at the bar. Like meet some guys there, and now you have a pool night every Tuesday. I don't know, but like there are things you can do to like, you know, slowly build, and then you can get deeper relationships where you're like, hey bud, I was having a tough time, you know. Bro, that sucks. But yeah, it was interesting, like, seeing the negative effects of the male loneliness epidemic within this book. Because, like we said, like, I think men are the reason this all happened, but women upheld what they built.
Yeah, well, that was intentionally weaponized. Yeah. But yeah, because I know we already kind of talked about it, but there's that thing at the club of him being like, oh, men aren't meant to be with just one woman, or how was that phrase?
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. Yeah, no, I know exactly what you're talking about. Because she was like, oh, so it's just like before.
Yeah.
And then he's like, yeah, well, we just now realize that men aren't meant to be with just one woman.
Right.
And it was like, bitch.
Kind of means like, or makes it feel like this whole thing is in fact about that.
Yeah, it's
not about fertility.
Well, exactly.
Yeah.
I know. That was,
yeah.
That was tongue in cheek.
But like yeah, it's fascinating. Always comes back to sex and power.
This one definitely made me think.
Yeah. And also the love aspect, which I know we don't really have time for, but like all the conversation about like, well, what about love? Or like, you know.
Right.
Maybe that's just kind of the transition though from the before into this, if they're still hung up on love.
Yeah.
And there's the thing with Nick at the end. Honestly, I wasn't really expecting that.
No, it was like
Me
very
either.
quick.
Yeah.
It was also like, we slept together. Nick and I have been together for a while. Right. And I was like, okay.
Well, the way she retold that first night like 3 times and still was like, I don't know if this is
I was
happened.
like, so it just made me mad, to be honest. I was like, she's like, tells this whole story and then she's like, that's not how it happened. I'm like, why did you say it?
But see, that's one of, and there was another instance earlier on in the book where like weirdly it's switched to like second person where she's literally talking to us, like saying you.
Right.
Like,
but I think that's like the.
But it's setting her up as an unreliable narrator.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
well, and it's because
like,
she's like actually recording this.
Yeah.
Like these are just her recordings and she's like, I don't remember it exactly.
I mean, I kind of suspect that they also were probably drugging them via food. I would think like.
Yeah, I'm sure like the Amity.
Insurgents. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I don't remember what it was, but there was some things that kind of gave me a hint to that. I mean, because.
Well, she says that, I guess the wine is just spiked, but like.
Yeah.
Yeah. But she did like, especially at the center. Like,
oh, for sure.
They were drugging them.
Yeah.
At least at the beginning.
Yeah. I mean, she definitely like said that.
Yeah.
I think that'd just be a one way to help keep them compliant. For sure. How are we looking?
Thank you for joining us.
Yeah.
This was our November book of the month. If you'd like to join us for December book of the month, we'll be reading Oona Out of Order by Margarita Montimore. I think that's how you say that.
We're ringing in the new year. If you're like, I don't want a Christmas book, don't worry, babe. It's not.
It's not a Christmas
book.
We're doing New Year's.
It sounds interesting. Going from Margaret to Margarita.
But we'll hope you'll join us. And that's
subscribe.
Oh yeah. Do that. Subscribe. Like, rate,
right. Comment. Tell us what book to read for.
Tell us what you want us to talk about.
January. I don't know.
We're here.
Anything that I'm sure we missed in this book, because like I said,
there's a lot.
Barely scratched the surface.
Yeah, like we totally talked about every single sticky note that Rachel and I
right, all of these, every single one.
My sticky notes are on my phone. I swear I have a million.
So if there's anything super important you think we missed, put it in the comments.
It'd be interesting to hear. I feel like I've said interesting like 800 times.
When you got to Google another synonym.
Yeah. Write an essay. Listen.
All right. Well.
See
bye.
ya.